My name is Helen Brooks. I am 62 years old. I live alone in a small house in Salem, Oregon. The house is quiet, too quiet. Some days, the silence is almost loud. Many years ago, my husband left me. He packed his bag one morning and walked out of the house. He did not say goodbye. He did not explain. He never came back. After that day, I never heard his voice again. I never saw his face again. I was alone with my daughter, Laura. She was 6 years old at the time. Every night, she cried softly in her small bed. She asked, "Where is Daddy?" I had no answer. I could only hold her and whisper, "I am here. I will take care of you." Even though I was scared, I promised her that I would not leave her. I would protect her, even if it broke me. Life became very hard. I had no money and no one to help me. I worked 2 jobs to survive. In the morning, I cleaned offices and homes. I dusted, vacuumed, and scrubbed floors. My hands often bled from the cleaning chemicals. In the evening, I washed dishes in a small cafe. Sometimes, I stayed late at a bakery, baking bread and cakes for other people. My back hurt. My body was exhausted. Sometimes, I fell asleep on the floor, too tired to climb the stairs. But I never stopped. I had a child to care for. I had a child to protect. I did everything for Laura. I bought her school books, pencils, and uniforms. I sewed her clothes when I could not afford new ones. I cooked simple meals, often skipping my own dinner so she could eat well. I washed her socks, ironed her shirts, and stayed awake until she came home from school to make sure she was safe. I gave her all my love, all my strength, all my hope. She became my world. Laura grew up to be a bright and kind young woman. She was gentle and thoughtful. She smiled easily and helped others. I was proud of her. I believed we would always be close. I thought nothing could ever change that. Everything changed when Laura turned 24. She met a man named Ethan. He was charming, confident, and seemed successful. Her eyes shone when she talked about him. She smiled more often, laughed more freely. I wanted her to be happy. When I met Ethan, I felt uneasy. He was polite, but there was something cold in his eyes. He spoke often about money, status, and travel. He talked about his friends who had expensive homes and cars. I felt uncomfortable. I smiled anyway. I wanted to appear kind and welcoming. I wanted Laura to feel safe. Slowly, I noticed changes in Laura. She started visiting me less. Her phone calls became short. She no longer asked how I was. She spoke more about Ethan, about their plans, and about their future. Sometimes I tried to talk about old memories or our family. She would say, "Mother, you worry too much. I am fine." Her words were polite, but they cut me deeply. Weeks passed, then months. I cooked meals for one. I ate alone. I walked through the small garden in the backyard, remembering the days Laura was little. Sometimes I sat by the window, watching people pass on the street, hoping to see her face. I imagined her car stopping in front of my house. I imagined her smile when she came in, but it never happened. I continued working, cleaning, washing dishes, baking bread for others. I spoke to neighbors sometimes, but mostly I stayed in the quiet of my home. Some nights, I cried quietly while folding laundry. Some nights, I whispered Laura's name into the darkness, hoping she would hear me. I prayed she was safe. I prayed she would come back. One day, Laura told me she was moving in with Ethan. She said it quickly, like it was nothing. My heart broke. I smiled and said, "I hope you are happy. I will always love you." After that, the silence in my house grew heavier. I tried to fill it with small routines. I made bread every morning. I brewed tea and put sugar in a small jar. I watered the plants in the garden. I cleaned every corner of the house. I folded my clothes neatly. I tried to keep busy, but the emptiness remained. Sometimes I walked through the streets, hoping to see her in a cafe or shop. I hoped she would turn and smile at me. People whispered, "Maybe she does not care for her mother." I stayed silent. They did not understand. They did not know how much I loved her. One afternoon, I decided to visit Laura's apartment. My hands shook as I knocked on the door. Ethan opened it. He looked at me with a small sigh. "Laura is busy," he said. "She does not want visitors now." I asked to see my daughter. He shook his head. "She needs space from you," he said. My chest hurt. My heart felt heavy. I turned and walked down the hallway slowly. That day, I lost her again. Time passed. I continued my routines. I cleaned, cooked, washed dishes, folded laundry. I walked in the garden, talked to myself, and whispered prayers for her safety. Some nights, I stayed awake, listening to the sound of the rain on the roof, imagining her small hand in mine. Then one morning I received a message. Laura had been left alone. Ethan had lied to her. He had taken her money and disappeared. She was scared and tired. She had no one to call. That evening, there was a knock on my door. I opened it slowly. Laura stood there. Her eyes were red from crying. Her shoulders were small and tired. She looked like my little girl again. "I'm sorry, Mom," she whispered. "I was wrong. I made mistakes. I did not speak. I did not ask questions. I only held her. I held her tightly, as if never letting her go again. Now, Laura lives with me again. We eat dinner together. We laugh quietly. We talk about the past and the future. We heal slowly. People ask me how I can forgive so easily. They do not understand. I always say the same thing. I am her mother. I love her. Love does not disappear. It waits. And when the child returns, love is there to hold them.